What's going down, y'all? Welcome to another video. In today's video we're doing a haircut tutorial, but this one's a little bit different. So recently on Twitter I had someone DM me asking me if I can do their favorite YouTuber. I said sure. He didn't say Ejones TV, so I was a little bit offended, but not for real. He asked me to do Pretty Boy Fredo's haircut. I'm gonna just call him Fredo because I don't like calling another grown man pretty, but now his username on YouTube is Pretty Boy Fredo, and previously I've only watched like 1 or 2 videos of his, so I had to do a little bit of research because to be honest with you, I wasn't really watching his videos like that, and he's always wearing a headband or a hat, so to reenact his haircut was a little bit difficult. I had to go off what I've seen. I really watched like 4 or 5 different videos just to get a glimpse of how his hair is. It's kind of like a mohawk with the part going down and around the back. So I'm gonna try to reenact that for you guys, but also give me an idea of like doing a YouTuber haircut tutorial series. So what I mean by that is just comment down below your favorite YouTuber or a YouTuber's hair you want me to recreate or reenact. I will go through it, and if I'm able to do that certain YouTuber's hair, then I will. So hopefully that made sense. Just comment down below your favorite YouTuber, and if I'm able to do it, I'll do it. But other than that, man, I don't know what to say. We gonna call him Fredo. I don't like calling niggas pretty. So in the video, I will say Fredo. Yeah. Alright, y'all, one more thing before we do get in this video. If you are new to my channel and you like this video, check out my other videos. I have plenty more just like it. Hit the subscribe button if you do like my video, like my content. Be a new member here on Ejones TV, and basically just stay notified when I post a new video. Alright, let's get into the video. Alright, y'all, as you guys can see, this particular client, his hair was looking very rough. This is about a month and a half without getting a cut. But anyways, our first step with this haircut is to bald him out and kind of create the mohawk shape right now. So what I do is I start the line at the bottom of his box on his hairline, and then I make a U shape down and around towards his neck and up around to the other side. Next up, we're gonna grab our All-Star 76s with the 1.5 blade on there. With this, all we're gonna do is kind of create the mohawk shape a little bit more. We're gonna take down the sides, the back, and the other side. But with this, you don't wanna go up too high into the mohawk because you wanna have room to fade it in. So if you take this guideline right here up too high, you won't have room to fade it in. If you fade it in when it's too high up, your mohawk's gonna become very skinny. So leave yourself some room to fade it in. Don't go up too high. Don't go up too high in the back. And with this particular mohawk, and basically all my mohawks, I don't like the mohawk to be all the way down to the bottom of someone's neck unless you have like an Odell style haircut or something like that. But with this haircut and Fredo's haircut, the mohawk stops midway to the back of someone's head, and then you fade it in, and I think it looks dope that way. And the next step is to fade the mohawk hair down into the fade. So I take a number 2 guard open, and this kind of acts like clipper over comb in a way. You don't want to make it a guideline, you just want to flick the hair out so it blends properly. And this is probably the most important part to fade a mohawk down into the fade. You're gonna go with the grain. So this is number 2 guard closed, and what you want to do with this is basically brush the hair down into the fade, because I know it's hard to fade hair this long going against the grain. So with the grain, it just blends properly. It lays the hair down into the fade. So this was a number 2. I switched to a number 1 guard open, and then I go down lower. So as you can see, that number 2 guard, I went up higher. So the lower you go in the guard, the lower you go into the fade. So the number 2 guard was higher up in the mohawk. Now I'm going downwards as I move the lever. And next up, I'm just going to close that number 1 guard and go with the grain, but go lower towards like his ear, basically. The lower you go with the guard, the lower you go with the grain. So I started up top with the number 2, then I went with the open number 1. This is a 1 guard closed. Then I'm going to switch to a 1/16 guard and do the same thing. Go with the grain, but I'm going lower towards his ear, away from the mohawk. Hopefully that makes sense. I know cutting with the grain is a little tricky, but you guys will catch on. And now all you have to do is fade going upwards towards the mohawk, and I've done so many videos on this particular fade, so hopefully you guys already know how to do it. But if you're new to my channel, all you have to do is make a first guideline with the lever closed on your Auster Fast Feed, your Andis Master, whatever you use. Close that lever and make the first guideline. And then just open up that lever and make another guideline right on top of that. This fade, you guys will notice it's going to be higher because he's going to get a design on the side or some type of part on the side. And I feel like with the lower fade, it doesn't really make the part pop out more. So this fade is going to be a little bit higher, but you guys can really do this fade however you want. I know Fredo's, I couldn't really see in the video like I was saying. I don't know how his fade is. I don't know if it's low, mid, high, but with this particular haircut, my client likes it higher. So it actually plays off with the design or the part well. And the next guideline going up is a 1/16 guard with the lever closed. And our last guideline going upwards, we're going to fade the hair into the mohawk hairs that we took down with the grain. All we're going to use is number 1 guard with the lever open. And now all you have to do is fade going downwards. So we're going to do the same steps, but just in reverse. So the line in between 1 guard open and the 1/16, we're going to use our number 1 guard open and closing. And the same thing going backwards, we're just going to use a 1/16 guard open and closing, knocking down any dark spots that we see, any lines that we miss, and really just make your fade perfect going downwards. So we faded upwards, now we're fading downwards. So after this, you're going to see no guard open and closing to finish off this fade, and that's basically it. And to make this fade pop out a little bit more, we're going to use the Andis Profoil Electric Shaver. This is going to knock down any stubbles in the bottom of his fade and really make this fade pop out that much more. And all you have to line up on this haircut is the front lineup, so don't push it back, keep it natural, keep it sharp. And if you guys were thinking the mohawk on the side was a little bit too high, wait till I put the part in and you guys will see how well it plays off with the part. So you guys can keep the fade lower on the sides if you guys want. You can do a low fade, mid fade, high fade like this one, but wait till I put the part in and then you guys can judge. And moving on to the part on the side, I don't really know how Fredo's part looks exactly because like I said, he was always wearing a hat or a headband, so it's kind of hard to see. But this particular design or part, whatever you want to call it, it kind of was like a Z shape where I made a straight line, brought it back towards his lineup, then brought it back down and around to the back of his head. But like I said, you guys can do this part however you want. Be creative, just make sure it's okay with the client before you do any part or any design. And the last thing I have to do with this design is use the straight razor. This is really going to make your design pop out, make it crispy, because you knock out all the stubbles within the part and it leaves the part looking crispy. But after this, only thing I did was use the curl sponge. In my past 2 videos, I taught you guys how to use the curl sponge. So that's really it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button, and I will see you guys in the next one. Wait, one more thing I forgot to say. None of you niggas can fuck with me in 2K. Just being honest.